Welcome to Discover the Duncan Difference, a Duncan Financial Group podcast. Discussions in the show should not be construed as specific recommendations or investment advice. Always consult with your investment professional before making important investment decisions. Securities offered through registered representatives of Cambridge Investment Research Incorporated, a broker-dealer, member FINRA, SIPC. Advisory services through Cambridge Investment Research Advisors Incorporated, a registered investment advisor. Cambridge and Duncan Financial Group are not affiliated. Hi, everyone. Welcome to Discover the Duncan Difference podcast. Today, I have special guest, Colton Hearn. Colton is one of our financial professionals here at Duncan. So, Colton, tell me a little bit about yourself, personally and professionally, when you want to go first.
Yeah, like I said, my name's Colton Hearn. I work here. I've been working here since 2018. It was my first job out of college. I started as a admin assistant for a couple of the advisors upstairs, and just kind of learning the ropes from them, getting my licenses. Now I'm a full-time advisor. So I help clients with their investments, with their goals, long-term, short-term financial goals, and then also kind of like protecting those assets as well. There's a lot of planning involved, financial planning, looking at what people want to do with their money, and then what's best to, what vehicle's best or which way to protect those assets to make that, kind of work for their goal.
Yeah.
Personally, I went to school at St. Vincent College. I played football there, met a lot of great friends that I'm still friends with now. I'm still pretty, involved and help out with the alumni committee and then also their football team. I grew up in Greensburg. My family actually moved out to Irwin, so I'm pretty local. Never really left the area.
Yeah.
And I'm just happy that Duncan gave me an opportunity 6 years ago.
Yeah, that's awesome. So is this what you studied in school? Is this what you had planned to do?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, I got a finance degree from St. Vincent. So originally I went to St. Vincent as a math major and a education minor. I wanted to teach math and then coach football. That was my whole goal.
Yeah.
But my first education class, I absolutely hated it. And I decided I wanted to do something in business. So I took an accounting class, and I loved the rules aspect of the accounting world, and thought maybe I'll do something in, with the stock market or accounting. And I took a couple more classes, decided finance was the right way to go. And I actually specialized in investment management. There was a couple different tracks you go. I did investment management. And my professor, I'll give a shout out to Dr. Rakulia. I'm still very close with him today. And he really, helped me see, and I would say Dr. Rakulia helped me realize, the potential of the investment world. Without him, I don't know if I would have, stuck with it. It was definitely challenging. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So how did you find Duncan? I know you said it was your first job out of college. Did you know somebody or did you just find it?
No, I just found Duncan through, I believe, like Indeed, something like that. Yeah. And, I remember I was looking at your website before I got my first interview, and I was just like, man, they do everything.
Yeah.
This is crazy. And I actually brought it up during the interview, and they were like, yeah, we hear that all the time. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, it was a pretty cool interview process. Got the job. It was great.
Yeah, that's awesome. And you said when you first started here, you did some like admin work and you were kind of getting your licenses and all of that stuff. And so what did that, was that really helpful for you to be able to kind of get a gist of it before you were like actually thrown into it and like kind of learn from mentors?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Working with some of the advisors here that have been doing it for longer than I'd been alive and helping them out in that process.
Yes.
And just really understanding, their thought process on when it comes to helping out certain clients, what the clients want. And also sitting in and just kind of sitting in on meetings and getting there's a lot of lingo you have to learn in this environment. a lot of acronyms, a lot of it just helping them teach me that, but also just being a fly on the wall and listening
and kind of learning as you
being
go.
a sponge.
Yeah, because I feel like a lot of these things you can't learn in a college classroom. So it's really that experience of like being with somebody who's done it for a really long time. It helps to be able to like just learn off of them. How do they make decisions? How do they talk to their clients?
Yeah, you're very right. There's only so much you can learn in a classroom. You know, experience and just a baptism by fire is a great way that I describe it. That's the best way that I learn, and I felt like I was just a sponge during that, and still am. There's still a lot of stuff to learn. So
it's so awesome. That's what I love about it here. I feel like you can learn and grow from the mentors that have so much experience, a wealth of knowledge, and you're literally always learning. And I feel like so are they. I feel like we're all here are committed to like that education and learning more, and new things come out. I watch you guys, the compliance. There's new stuff all the time that you guys have to learn and make sure that you're abiding by for your clients. So that's really awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
What's your favorite part of your job?
Definitely helping people realize and maybe realize and also attain goals. When you sit down and you meet with somebody that doesn't really know anything about our world, he doesn't know anything about investments. They just put money into a 401k or saved as much as they could their whole life, and they sit down, hey, am I okay to retire in a couple of years? What's it look like? And then you sit down with them and you kind of map out the details and either help them realize, hey, if we do this, this, and this, you might be set for that, to retire at your goal, or to say, yeah, I mean, what you did is obtainable, and we can, work around your income and your expenses whenever you want to retire. And it looks like we can, be set to go there. Just helping people understand why they're doing something.
Yes.
And also, because a lot of people don't look at the long-term future. Somebody my age, in their 20s that just got their first job and they're asked to contribute to a 401k, and they're like, why? I
don't want that out of my paycheck.
I want to spend that money at bars. And then you sit down with them and you're like, well, if you do this, you contribute this amount, we'll have it grow, at this amount. That's what it's going to look like in retirement whenever you don't have any income coming in.
Exactly. And I think that, like you said, people who are in their younger years, maybe getting their first job, mid-20s, late 20s, they think, oh, I don't want that much money to go out of my paycheck to go into a 401k. But that when you are able to sit down and say, if you wait another 5 years or another 10 years to start doing this, when you think that that's a good time, you're so far behind what you could be had you just contributed like a minimal amount or a smaller amount. So I'm sure that's really rewarding to be able to.
Yeah, helping. A part of the job is definitely educating and helping people understand why they're doing this and what's the consequence, good or bad, of doing that. And I feel like that part of it is very rewarding.
Yeah, that's awesome. So who do you feel like you work best with? I know that we provide to a wide range of people, but like, do you feel like people that are around your age or blue collar workers, business owners, what do you feel like you work best with? What type of clients do you work best with?
That is a great question. And it's hard for me to answer that question, just because I do have, clients that are in every single one of those groups and others. And if I feel like I work best with people who are similar to me, but then that's not always the case.
Right.
I've got a lot of clients who are younger and just starting out, and like we said earlier, illustrating to them why they're doing this, and the benefits that they're going to see, not right now, not 5 years from now, not 10 years from now, but 30 years from now.
Right.
But also, I've got some clients that are near retirement or just retired that I work very well with. And those conversations are a lot different in that, we are generating income for them in retirement, and then also trying to protect those assets. I feel like I work very well with people that may have a lot of different needs.
And complex.
Yeah. And that we can look at, an estate plan to make sure that, everything is buttoned up there. Maybe a business owner that we could, pivot to somebody else in the organization that can help them out with their insurance, and then kind of just illustrate the whole Duncan company to somebody.
I feel like those are the most fun when you're when you're able to explain to somebody and get them to buy into the fact that we could do it all here for you. You don't have to go to this place for your insurance and this place for that and this place for that. You can make one call and we're all here to help.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that's definitely the most fun.
Yeah. And I think that's, like I said, I work well with a lot of different people. And I can't really pick a specific.
Not super niche.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Question. If somebody was thinking about working here, what would you say to them? Like, what would you tell somebody who was thinking about becoming a financial professional, like just testing the waters, and they were thinking about working or maybe interning here at Duncan? What's something that you would tell them?
Yeah. So I would definitely say to be a sponge. And we said that earlier. I mean, that was very much me for a year and a half when I first started, was just trying to learn everything that I could on the business realm of things that I didn't learn in college. And also, humble yourself.
Yes.
And be patient. It took me, I'm not a very patient person. And I had some lofty goals for myself when I first got out of college. And it took me a while to get to where I'm at now, but I'm very much happy where I'm at. On the road there, I just had to keep telling myself, to be patient, and it will, you're doing all the right things and it will get there. But also, stay hungry. Like Brian says it all the time.
Yep.
I love meeting new people, and I love having these small conversations with people about what I do and what they do and how we could help them out. And I think it just, always keeps you on your toes. I think that's,
I know that one is a really good point. The point of like, it's not going to happen overnight. Like Brian says, it's delayed gratification in these fields. Like, you're not just going to get in and just, start helping a ton of people and making a ton of money. Like, you have to build those connections and build that network. And then eventually it will come back and you will be able to be successful. But that's such a good point. I think that's really good advice.
Yeah. Still laying, groundwork and foundation for a network that you want to build. And also just expanding that. And for me, I try to look at helping anybody that I can.
Whether or not you're going to get paid for it or it always, because
everybody needs that. Most people, don't understand what a 401k is or how to save or how to allocate a portfolio for their risk level. So if I can help anybody, whether or not, I'm going to get paid for that now. It's
or maybe it's a referral back, later on. Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
Okay. Last question. If a client was thinking about working with us, what would you tell them?
I think Brian says it best, that we are big enough to matter and small enough to care.
Yes.
I say that line all the time, and I don't always attribute it to Brian. Sometimes
you give him credit.
But I think it's very powerful. And the other thing that I show clients every time that I meet with somebody new is our diamond chart that shows all of our different lines of business, and kind of explain that we can work with potentially anybody on any type of need. And also explain that I'm not going to be the expert in every single one of those areas. You could pick one or two of those diamonds, and that's what I do.
Yes.
For a living. But we can quarterback you to everybody else that can help you out on your taxes and your
we'll give you another expert.
Yeah, exactly.
in that field.
Yeah.
You're not getting somebody who thinks they can do it all. We've got actual experts in each one of those.
Yes,
yeah,
absolutely. And it's just having everything in one place is just going to be easier for everybody.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
I love that. Well, thank you so much for joining, Colton.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching. We drop every Monday, 8 a.m., wherever you get your podcasts and on YouTube. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.